Welcome back, guys, to the Tesla. And it's your boy Umshini again with another video covering the Czech Republic versus Bafana Bafana. So it's the second game in Group A. It's match day -1, and I think we've digested and diluted um, the first game. You can analyze it all you want, and there was a lot of talking points in regards to how the formation, Hugo Bruce approached the game, the nervousness from players, controversial red cards, and all these things. But it's a new week, it's the second game. The ball must move. The tournament is slowly and swiftly moving along, and it's a game that they can redeem themselves. Very much so. So a lot of talking points today I want to talk into in regards to what kind of game can we expect in the team that we are playing tomorrow? And if we were to win, what are the talking points? What can we expect? And how can we fashion a win tomorrow? So before we go there, if this is your first time catching on this video, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video because it helps the algorithm to send it to more people. This is my second video in the 2026. So thank you for those who keep coming back. 5 of you guys who keep coming back to the channel. So let's go into it, man. Yeah, okay. Like I said, Czech Republic versus Bafana Bafana this time. Match day 2. Tomorrow it's 6 SA time, for those of you who don't know. So both these teams on paper, obviously Bafana Bafana again coming as the lesser side or the underdog in the group and the fixture that they found themselves in. Not as bad or not as threatening as Mexico, even though difference of opinion in terms of ranking, they are the lowest rank in the group, or second, third, before us, if I'm making sense. So the third lowest, then it's us. So we are 60th, they are 43rd. And we've played well against teams in your 30th, 25th mark, 40th region. We've never had a problem. But in this instance, obviously, the profiling and the approach to the game is very different. Our backs against the wall, number one. Two, Czechia has taller players. It's a European team. Direct approach, long balls, throw-ins, not really more of a ball playing team, but they can hurt you in different ways. Whereas if we waste too many chances and we drag the game too far, it only takes one chance to lose everything. Could be disaster for us. We could find ourselves on an early flight home, playing the last game against South Korea with no consequence, because there is going to be even more pressure because that's a more tougher team. For me, in my opinion, South Korea is the toughest team in the group, apart from the Mexico game. Looking at how we approached it, when you analyze the game without emotions, you can actually find, when you do research, that South Korea is much more of a tougher team. You saw their videos, even the training, like they're in the military or somewhere. So for me, that's a tough game because they're more of a ball playing team. They create opportunities and transitions, and also they're very quick passing game. They've got good finishers, good ball players, half spaces kind of team. They try to break in those lines, and they are very much of an attacking team, not just like Mexico who play with one speed and they're looking for diagonal balls, which is the second goal is a testament of that. But anyways, coming back to Czech, not no big names there. I think there's Peter Schick. He's their striker. He's very tall, 1.9 again. And there's that throw-in that they always use, looking for him as the focal point, and the other two guys from the front end coming from the middle. Do not know their names very well because Monkabo, Schick, Czech, whatever. So those are the kind of names or players that you can expect. Average height is 1.87 at on their side. On our side is 1.75. I think the only guy is 1.81 to 1.85 who Olutu Makai. So I'll get to the starting lineup. I just wanted to profile this team. So it's not a ball playing team. They play with transition. They play with 5 at the back. They play with wing play, long balls as well, and throw-ins. So that's the criteria. So, based on what we know about Bafana Bafana, this should be a game that we could look to exploit a lot of spaces or pace is our game because I think the defense is quite slow, and if they're looking to play the ball in the air, it's to an advantage because when you have Pirates and some of those players, they've been trained in a lot of drills or their gameplay has been suited very well to play against such a position, and also Bafana Bafana. In essence, well, when you're playing against a team that doesn't really want to play with the ball most of the time, it, it, it it takes me back to the reference point of playing Panama twice. They're tall players, very aggressive, very physical, not good on the ball. They'll only play with transitions. And if you remember correctly, the two chances, the first game was a mistake at the back. Tole was involved, but it was actually Mudawa's mistake. Then the second game, it was a set piece, two set pieces actually in the corner. One set piece in the corner. So I think maybe here could be a reference point how we can be able to play if this team plans to park the bus and obviously catch us on a counter if we are looking to play more of combinations into the midfield. So I'm expecting that kind of game. Coming to the lineup in terms of how we are looking to set up against this team. Um, Look, I've heard a lot of opinions in regards to Hugo Bros changing his approach. I was waiting for the presser before I post this video because I was hoping that he would have given us an idea through the press conference, seeing if there's any changes. But I'll give you my potential starting lineup. But looking at research, I had to say that because I've had a lot of experts, not a lot of experts, I've seen a lot of videos covering the Bafana Fana game. A lot of people are surprised by Hugo Bruce's approach with the 3-5-2 setup. Personally, yes, but if you go back against Nigeria, against is what is it, Nigeria, the tough games. I think against Nigeria, Cameroon, Egypt, he played the same formation against really top opposition when it was a knockout game. He played the same formation. The difference is with Pesita within. But I think a lot of people have forgotten that. But now, with this game, I don't know if he has learned because all those times he's actually played this formation, he has lost. That's the key point. So maybe changing personnel maybe would be it's forced actually because with Stolen not being there, obviously Mbata might come in for me. That's the expectation. But let me start from the back. Well, looking at two schools of thought, if he does come with this 3-5-2, I'll start with the usual one, which is I'm expecting my wish list would be Mdao on the left, Bogazi at left central back, Oluwetu Makanya instead of Okon because he's taller, and Mdao at right back. Then, obviously, pivot, I'll have Umbata no Mukwena. Then I'll have Adams. No, I'm lying. I'll still put Umbata ngaphandle and ngifake Umkwena no Adams, Apollos no Muremi, Mfukeng behind and Mfogo Mahopa. And Foster hasn't been looking very well. That's the reason because Mahopa gives us also that height in terms of helping us with set pieces when he drops back. He loves doing that most of the time. And he also chases. He's the first pressing point when we're pressing these guys high. And obviously we have the two wingers with speed and pace and also with a bit of trickery from our police. Then we've got Mufukeng as a 10. Back to the same lineup that we're used to, we're comfortable with. Against Ipanema, he played such a similar formation, but the difference was Bukonabon Damani was testing out different combinations. But that is my expectation against a team like this who's not really about pressing you high, who love to sit back, wait for you to attack in the cage on the counter. So that would be my expectation because also I know Bruce is a fan of tall defenders. He has said that a lot of times. I think we played a game at one point against Nigeria in the qualifiers and was quite concerned about the players that we have in attack that don't have the right height that he's looking for. So for me, that would be my expectation when he's looking at the fact that maybe against this team to get the results, we need attackers, ball players in the midfield, maybe if he happens to change his mind, and more of ball playing defenders, if we happen to find ourselves that we need to add numbers with Umudao, no Modiba playing that inverted role, depending on who goes up front and all that. But if he goes with the same lineup, which is a 3-5-2, I think he would expect these guys, Modiba, Nomudao, to play over more of a wing back. The difference for me, I will remove Sbisi, still use the same central pair. Mbogazi, maybe put who is more composed, Okon, then Ngfagi Olwetu at the right central back. Then with in the middle, that Diamond, Ngabanayo still, Mkwena Adams, and I'm not a fan of Umbata because we're playing too deep and too defensive. But that's the change that I would make, which is forced if he doesn't go with normal 10. Then maybe put in instead of Uranus, I'll put in Umfuking there to assist to Mohopo still. I'll have him. Then that's the kind of lineup, but still a police no you need creativity. So that if he stays like that, then you can expect a very slow game, less goals, maybe one goal, 1-0, maybe in the 75th, 60th minute, depending if we unlock, depending on they make a mistake or we make a mistake. But for us, the backs are backs against the wall. Bafana really needs to win. They remind me of AFCON 23 when we lost our first game. It was a shock. So probably that's the idea that Boss has been giving us. That look, the boys are quite new to this kind of stage. There was a lot of nerves. They were shocked. A lot of players are playing this tournament for the first time. So we're hoping maybe whichever system approach that it comes with can give us enough to at least showcase what we have, because there's a lot of backing and belief in our own players who are playing here in the local league to at least give these guys a punch. For me, Panama is like number 30 something, just as a partying shot. So Manchester is 43. So we've played against opposition that has a higher ranking with a similar profile in regards to them. But it's not going to be easy game. It's going to be very physical. I'm expecting us to control the game, even though I'm expecting a very high intensity kind of game. This time, it won't be the same as Mexico, obviously. They're playing in Atlanta. Yes, maybe Czechia will have more of the fans, but I'm hoping these guys can have acclimatized to the environment, the weather, the atmosphere, and they can calm themselves. This could be a game changer for us. This could mean a lot to what can happen. So, um, yeah, that's my expectations in regards to what to expect from this game. Tell me what you think in the comments. Do you think we have a shot? Do you think we can change our tournament around with having to get a good result against Czechia? And hopefully, I can do a reaction video in terms of the scoreline. And we'll see from there. That's all I have for you for now. This is Umishini on the Taslan again. I'll see you on the next video. Shap shap.